How's it going, guys? And oh boy, do we have some news to go over today. But before we start, if you enjoyed the video, please press the like button. And if you are new here, don't forget to subscribe. So earlier today, we got this post from the HellDivers 2 Twitter account. Attention HellDivers, due to technical issues at the launch of HellDivers 2, we allowed the linking requirements for Steam accounts to a PlayStation Network account to be temporarily optional. That grace period will now expire. See details below in this post. Account linking plays a critical role in protecting our players and upholding the values of safety and security provided on PlayStation and PlayStation Studios games. This is our main way to protect players from griefing and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behaviour. It also allows those players that have been banned the right to appeal. As such, as of May 6th, all new HellDivers 2 players on Steam will be required to connect their Steam account to a PlayStation Network account. Current players on Steam will start to see the mandatory login from May the 30th and will be required to have linked to Steam and PlayStation Network account by June the 4th. PlayStation Network accounts are free and easy to set up using this link. We understand that while this may be an inconvenience for some of you, this step will help us to continue to build a community that you're all proud to be part of. Many thanks for your continued support of HellDivers 2, Sony Interactive Entertainment. And the sentence where it says, this is our main way to protect players from grief and abuse by enabling the banning of players that engage in that type of behaviour, may be slightly true, I don't know, but let's face it, Sony are doing this because they want them account numbers and they want that data so they can sell on, because hey, they didn't anticipate HellDivers 2 was going to be so fucking popular. And it's safe to say it went down like a lead balloon, with players commenting their distaste for this. On Steam, it does say a PSN account is required, but I believe a while ago there was an option to skip this account link up. The reason for that obviously was some network or server issues, and it was just left until today's announcement. And this announcement here over on Steam, they had the topic locked, so you couldn't even respond because they knew the shitstorm this would bring. So all that was left for the players to do was for them to like the jester emote, just to let Sony know that this is not a move that PC players are happy with. So back when the game launched, there were some technical issues, so the linking or creating of accounts was skippable, with a skip prompt coming up in game, and presumably players thought that was the end of it, no more. To me, this is an issue and not so much of one. Ubisoft, EA, Microsoft and other publishers all ask players to create accounts to play certain games, so Sony pulling this isn't a break from the norm, to be honest. That's just me playing devil's advocate right now. PC players do make up for most of the player count though, and from what I've seen, there are a few that just simply don't want to make an account. Whether that's because of the past security issues that Sony have had with hacking, or the fact that they just don't even own a PlayStation. On the other side, there are the players that probably would create a PSN account, but they literally can't, and that is because PSN isn't available in their countries. I have seen people come back and say that just using a different country will help, you can set one up, but that really isn't a solution. One, I don't even know you can actually do that, and secondly, Sony shouldn't be selling games to players who live outside of the PSN jurisdiction zone when a player requires a PSN account. Arrowhead are trying to figure this out though, and are waiting a response from Sony. Twinbeard giving this response over on Discord. First of all, it's Sony's decision, not ours. Secondly, we don't have all the details about region related issues yet. We're chasing Sony to get more info. So they're really keen to let us know that this isn't on Arrowhead at all. This is purely Sony. But I do feel for the guys over at Arrowhead. They're taking all the hate and insults while Sony stays quiet, which isn't really a surprise. I can only imagine the shit the community managers have taken today, and that just isn't okay. Arrowhead CEO has responded with this statement as well. Hey everyone, in regards to account linking and questions, please reference, then he links the PlayStation support link. If you have any further questions, you can reach out using the contact PlayStation support at the bottom of the page. So yeah, head over to Sony and contact them, but it doesn't matter, it won't matter, they do not care. If HellDivers 2 tank tomorrow, Sony will just carry on like nothing happened. It's the guys over at Arrowhead that I feel sorry for with this. The game is being review bombed pretty badly on Steam right now, as you can imagine, and as we can see, the game is now sitting at a mixed rating from 67,000 reviews, and just scrolling down some of these reviews, players are really pissed, and PC players are notoriously harsh when they feel like they've been messed about. This Steam user posting was by far one of the most promising PvE games on the market. No predatory microtransactions, good fun gameplay, and yet to now see that Sony has decided to force players on PC to make a PSN account to play the game after months of its release, or lose out on being able to play the game you paid for. No one in their right mind should see this as acceptable and should not recommend people to be buying into the game any further until these companies realise that putting walls up and stopping people from playing what they pay good money for is bad business practices. Another case of good game, terrible company. Good game, terrible publisher. Arrowhead aren't a bad company. Another one saying, it used to be super democracy, now it's just super bureaucracy. And then we've got, honestly, game was fun until the new enemy type called PSN account was introduced. Honestly, killed the fun for it. And last but not least, big fan of the original HellDivers, was a big fan of HellDivers 2. I own a PS5 and also had a PSN account for years, so it would be pretty minor for me to just attach mine. Despite this, I have to leave a negative review here because it's ludicrous that after months of a game being out and doing insanely well, you just slap on some artificial security measure. We all know Sony's track record with information breaches. Don't buy this game if they're going to play games with their consumers like this. It's honestly sickening. That is just a very small amount of reviews that are on there that are really criticising the game. But as you can see in one of them, they're saying, good game, terrible company. It's not Arrowhead's fault. I'm not going to keep saying that because it really isn't. I feel so bad for them. There are loads of these though, and it is sad to see. I don't feel for Sony, but I do feel for Arrowhead. So being the great leader that he is, Palstead, the CEO of Arrowhead, has put this up on Twitter. Ouch, right in the review score. Well, I guess it's warranted. Sorry everyone for how this all transpired. I hope we will make it up and regain the trust by providing a continued great game experience. I just want to make great games. Honestly, what a great guy. Palstead and his devs have made a fantastic game, in my opinion, that's enjoyable and doesn't feed us the same shit other live services have come to offer. But it seems Sony wants to undo all of that goodwill so they can inflate their play account numbers. Now, I actually went to log into the game last week, only to get a notice saying that my account has been suspended, and when I looked at it again, it was because of my PSN account. So, quick backstory, I had an issue with Sony taking a payment when they actually shouldn't have, and I spoke to them, I spoke to their supervisors with supporting documents, but they just didn't actually listen to me. They palmed it off, they still took the money. I then spoke to my bank asked for the evidence, and then my bank went to Sony and got my money back. But Sony obviously suspended my account because part of their T's and C's are they call it chargebacks. They then suspended my account permanently until I pay them the £100. That's a lot of money. So luckily for me, there was a workaround and I was able to get back into the game again. But that's just one of the very small things that makes Sony so anti-consumer. And that's the point I'm trying to make. And Arrowhead are one of the best developers around. So therefore, it just isn't a great match between the pair of them. Spitz, a community manager, hasn't had the best day either, with some snarky posts, and Palstead has been busy dampening the flames. Spitz said over on Discord, I'm sorry to laugh guys, I'm just trying to make light of this really shitty situation. It's not like this is the first or even the 14th mainstream game to require a third-party account that takes a couple of minutes to create. But if it's a deal breaker to have to take 120 seconds out of your day to enter an email and password and then forget about it, change your Steam review and make your pleasure known on a platform where it matters. So I understand the pressure the guys are under, but you can't respond like this, especially when you are working. You have to try and stay as professional as possible. Take a step back if needed, but what I will say is this: if you are sending death threats or wishing it along with verbal abuse, you need to get a grip of your life and realise it's a video game and it isn't life or death. It is not okay to act like that. Sony are the ones who have thrown Arrowhead to the wolves. It is not on them at all. At the end of the day, creating all these accounts is absolute bullshit, no matter what publisher it is, and players do need to start reading the small print, unfortunately, and voting with their wallets, because that's all they care about, these publishers: money. I'm not sure how this plays out. Players want refunds. I'm not sure if Steam will issue them, because I think they have a 2-hour refund window. But for the people that actually physically can't create a PSN account in their country, they probably could get a refund. The only stipulation would be that when you go to buy the game, on the left-hand side, as we can see, it does say that you need a PSN account to play this game. So we'll have to see how that one goes. But unfortunately, Arrowhead are losing so much goodwill from the player base. If tens of thousands do stop playing, then Sony might take notice. But then again, time will tell. We'll just have to see. I will personally still play this game because it's so much fun and I cover it for content as well. I'll just create a new email address and sign up with whatever name I can come up with, and that way Sony then don't really have my real data. I just hope Arrowhead comes out of this okay and everything settles down soon. I want to end on a fun note though and show you the next major order that's come in. So Reddit user Virtual99 posting this absolute banger. The new major order is contain the Sony security breaches, order overview, create PlayStation Network account, and we get a nice 45 medals for that. Just a bit of humour to finish us off. At the end of the day, life's stressful enough and we game to have fun. But that is the end of the video, guys. If you're still here, thank you very much for sticking with me towards the end. If you have enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button as well for more content. But as always, take care and I'll see you on the next video, divers.